Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, August 19th, 2021. I'm Keith Tebow. The city of Fall River continues to increase the number of options available for people to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. We'll talk about the latest effort in conjunction with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Fall River teachers and the school department reach a new 3-year contract agreement. And we begin our look at how Fall River schools are prepping for the new school year. All this and more coming up. We start this week looking at the weather as the region is keeping a close eye on Tropical Storm Henri as it makes its way up the east coast of the United States. There is the possibility we'll be impacted by the storm either late this weekend or on Monday.
If it was something severe, we'd have Rick Aguiar in and John Perry, and we talk to the water department to see where our concerned areas are, and we meet as a team. Again, as this gets a little closer, we'll track it. We have obviously 4 or 5 days out from this event, so we'll keep an eye on it. I'm hoping it skirts us like I've been hearing, and we don't have it, but we'll stay on our toes and make sure we have people in place to help if something does go haywire.
Stay with FRC Media as we provide you the latest updates on the tropical storm. Now the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic in Fall River. Here are the latest local case numbers and vaccination numbers as of last Thursday, August 12th. There were 166 new cases of COVID-19 in Fall River last week, up from 120 the week prior. 14,728 cases have been confirmed since the onset of the pandemic. On the vaccine front, 48,185 city residents, or 54%, have received at least one dose of the vaccine, with 49%, or 43,390 residents, fully vaccinated. An update on both cases and vaccinations is expected later today. The easiest way to find out where to get the vaccine in Fall River is through the city's vaccination webpage at frvax.com or by calling 833-8VAX-NOW or 833-882-9669. You can also check out the state's webpage at vaxfinder.mass.gov. You can also dial 211. Fall River's vaccination numbers are still well below the statewide average. The city continues to expand opportunities for residents who have yet to get vaccinated to do so. Yesterday, the city announced a new initiative with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts to bring the vaccine block by block to neighborhoods with the greatest need.
This initiative focuses on census block areas that have the lowest rates of vaccinations in the community. And we're targeting these areas with mobile clinics on evenings and on weekends in an effort to reduce barriers and provide residents with clinics in locations that they're familiar with and that are easily accessible to them. In addition to these clinics, we are pulling all of our outreach team members to target these areas in the days leading up to the clinics and during the clinics so that individuals can have one-on-one conversations with multilingual outreach team members who are trained to address hesitancy and to address any concerns that those who are not currently vaccinated may have.
To those who aren't vaccinated, I know there's a lot of people that don't want to get vaccinated because they're concerned for themselves, but I'm going to ask you to think about your neighbor. Think about the person that's older that has existing health conditions. Think about the children and think about the common good. Let's try and get this behind us, and the quickest way we can do that is if we all get vaccinated. So I ask you to please consider doing that. You're going to be here at Blessed Trinity today, the day of Portugal, over the next few days, and they'll be back here next week.
Next Wednesday through Sunday, the vaccine will be made available to those in the South End at clinics at Blessed Trinity Church and Ciabra Foods. Again, those are not the only locations administering the vaccine. Find out more at frvax.com, or you can call the city's health department at 508-324-2410. The Fall River Educators Association and the school committee have approved a new 3-year contract that aims to close the pay gap between teachers in Fall River and their counterparts across the region. FREA President Keith Michon says Fall River has historically had a difficult time recruiting and retaining teachers, and the new contract helps address the problem by making changes to the teacher's salary schedule in the first year, combined with across-the-board pay increases in the second and third years of the deal.
So in year one, what's going to happen is so we take last year's salary schedule, we're going to eliminate the first step, and then we're adding another top step. So that'll go from 12 steps to 11 steps, but then we add that top step at a 3% increase, and that brings us back to 12 steps. So then we renumber those steps 1 through 12, and that'll be an increase for everybody. We're also adding additional time, so that each school will increase their time by 15 minutes next year, so that there's an increase in pay for that as well. So in year 2 and 3, it's a 2% increase for steps 1 to 11, and a 2.5% increase for step 12. That first year we close that gap a lot for our teachers in step 1 to 11, but our top step teachers still, there's still a gap between us and the other districts. So we increase that step a little bit more in years 2 and 3.
Under the amended pay schedule, new teachers with a bachelor's degree will earn $46,222 compared to $43,067 a year ago. At the other end of the scale, teachers at the top step with a doctorate degree will now earn $83,272 compared with $79,847 last year. Other terms in the contract include recognition for teachers leading professional development workshops, more preparation time for district nurses, and fostering leadership within the rank and file. Michon says the membership is still concerned about beginning the new school year on September 1st with the growing threat of COVID-19.
Everybody's anxious to hear what the plan will be. I was out today and I'm seeing more and more masks out in public, in the grocery store and in different markets. And I'd say I surveyed the members last week, and I'd say about 50% thought that there should be a mask mandate for all staff and students, and then 25% felt like unvaccinated people should be masked, and then there's another 25% that feel like it should be an individual choice. It's just like in society, our membership varies, but I do see a lot more masks in public now, and I see the numbers going up a little bit in different areas. I think in Fall River, we're about 50% vaccinated, which is below the state. We just got to do the right thing and keep everybody safe.
Regardless of the impact the pandemic may have in the coming year, teachers are looking forward to working with their students in person.
Last year was a very difficult year. The remote learning was a challenge, but in a lot of ways, we learned a lot about technology and different things that we can do. Most of the teachers want their students right in front of them. They want to be in small groups. They want to be working together. They want to be doing, station rotation, moving around the room, hands-on activities, group work. That's what we want to get back to. It's a difficult thing with the pandemic because, number one, we want to keep everyone safe. So we got to find that balance to where we can do those hands-on activities, that group work, while keeping everybody safe. It's a challenge.
So what will the new school year look like in the Fall River Public Schools? Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be previewing the new school year for many of our local schools. Interim Superintendent Maria Pont says the priority for the new year is to move forward with an eye on student success.
Our priority as we welcome our students back is really for 18 months, it's been interrupted schooling, and we want to reconnect with our students. We want to create welcoming communities again in our schools. We don't know what people have lived through, adults as well as students, for the last 18 months, and we want to make sure that we create these learning environments that are accepting of all and that are supportive. We want to make sure that we are supporting our students' academic needs as well as the social emotional needs, and making sure that we're putting those supports in place so that we can be proactive. So priority number one, welcome everybody back face to face with safety measures in place, making sure that we support all of our students and create this learning environment that they've missed, hopefully, and that they're so looking forward to for the adults as well as for our students.
Potts began her term as interim superintendent on July 1st following the resignation of former superintendent Matthew Malone. She says Fall River is her district, having worked in the city for many years as a teacher, principal, and administrator. Even though she carries the interim tag, Potts says she will not lead the district that way.
We have surveyed parents. We intend to get more feedback from parents in the community in regards to ESSER 3 funds. Certainly, I realize that some of the long-range plans may be carried out by someone else, but for the time being, I've been entrusted into the role, and I'm going to do whatever the role entails. So if that's putting a budget together that's responsibly fiscal and addresses the needs of all of our students, then I'm going to make that recommendation to the school committee. No decision is made in isolation by myself, so I'm comfortable that the school committee realizes that we have teams of people, we have a whole community out there that we need to be inclusive of and we need to listen to so that we can make decisions that are in the best interest of all of our students and all of our staff.
Potts says she's looking forward to welcoming all students in person for the upcoming year after being forced to go remote at the end of the school year 2 years ago and implementing a hybrid model last year due to COVID-19. The other highlight of the new year will be opening the new BMC Durfee High School on time.
We are they're due to be handing over the building to us on August 30th, with the exception of there are a couple of areas that will continue to be worked on that we will have to navigate our way through. But for the most part, the building will be ready for students for opening. We are looking at exactly what that's going to look like and how we will welcome kids back. I know that Principal Damaris is working with his team to create a plan. He's working with the tight timeline and figuring out knowing that staff and students, they have to familiarize themselves with the physical space as well as all the technology. Everything is technology based. So there's a lot of training that needs to happen. But he is working through a plan for that so that he's ready to welcome students and staff back.
Meanwhile, with less than 2 weeks before school starts, the district is still in need of filling a number of open positions.
We still have some teaching positions. We have about 35 to 40 positions currently still up. And I will say some of them are in the process of being hired. We don't take them down until they're completely hired. So those numbers fluctuate. And this is such a fluid time because every single day we're onboarding people. So teaching positions and para positions, we've onboarded, for instance, 7 yesterday, I think, paras. So those are key areas that are crucial for our opening. I think that we're in a good place, but as we've heard everywhere, the pool is, shallow. Everybody is going for the same people because everybody's looking to fill their positions. So we're continuing to hire.
Residents this week got a first-hand look at what the state has in mind for the reconstruction of Route 79. Mass DOT Director of Major Projects Michael O'Dowd says work on the structure from Brightman Street to the Cove Restaurant will begin later this year.
During the course of the next several months, we'll initiate a phase 1 of our design build procurement services for construction by the end of this year, the fall of this year. And during the course of 2022, we'll be coordinating and finalizing the plans for the design and coordinating with the design build community as to what the proposals and what the requirements of the proposals will be. And that long term, by the fall of next year, we'd be in a position where we could award, conditional upon having all of the necessary things resolved, like the permitting that I just mentioned, regulatory buy-in, and also securing all the rights of way that are going to be needed on private and public lands to make sure that the work that we're doing right now is going to be compliant with all of our rules and regulations. So the idea is that assuming that we're successful in reaching all those goals, is that by the fall of next year in 2022, we'd be awarding a DB entity the contract to go forward and do this, and we would see that in 2023, 24, and 25 we'll be well into construction.
When complete, the new configuration will open up nearly 19 acres of land the city of Fall River can use to expand economic development opportunities on the waterfront.
And I think this is something that the city has been undertaking for many years now, is the planning for this, and it's taken a while, but it's gotten to a point now where they see an opportunity and there will be a potential for future development along this corridor, along the waterfront area, with the consolidating and the condensing of the State Highway and Route 79 and Duval Street. So I think there's approximately 19 acres that are going to be created as a result of this, including a number of acres of open space as well. So there's certainly an opportunity here with the coming of the South Coast Rail Station within the project corridor, that we're bringing all the various modes of transportation into this particular area for the future.
The preliminary election for mayor is a little over a month away. This week, the Board of Elections held a special meeting to set the order of how the candidates will appear on the ballot on September 21st. Here's how the ballot will look. Topping the ballot will be challenger Jonathan James Albernaz, followed by challenger Michael Vandal. Incumbent Mayor Paul Coogan will be listed third on the ballot, with City Council President Cliff Ponte listed fourth. Again, the preliminary election will be held on Tuesday, September 21st. We'll be back with more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Human Resource Assistant. Gold Medal Bakery, located at 21 Penn Street, is in need of a full-time human resource assistant to perform administrative tasks and services to support effective and efficient operations of the Human Resource Department. Job number 15305-868. Nighttime Loading Dock Setup Crew. Fall River Florist Supply, located at 119 Cove Street, is looking for a full-time nighttime loading dock setup crew responsible for stacking and moving pallets and help load trucks. Job number 15309-887. Staff Associate Information Security and Network Specialist. Bristol Community College, located at 777 Ellsbury Street, is looking for a full-time Staff Associate Information Security and Network Specialist to oversee the college information security program, employee training and awareness, and risk assessment of all new and existing systems. Job number 153-31290. Price Right, located at 910 Pleasant Street, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Night Crew Clerk, job number 153-18412. Front End Lead Clerk, job number 153-18414. The Fall River Public School Department, located at 417 Rock Street, also has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. School Adjustment Counselor, job number 153-11570. Paraprofessional, job number 153-12650. For more information on these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Those who enjoy hiking in the southeastern Massachusetts Bioreserve will soon have some new trails. The state, through its Mass Trails Grant Program, is providing over $90,000 in grants to construct 2 new hiking trails. The first will create a 20-mile loop around the 16,000-acre bioreserve.
There's a way to join and link existing trails and create one unified 20-mile loop, and that's what we've done with this artist conception. And that artist conception is pretty darn accurate. This trail is going to be, I would call it a rustic trail. It's not going to be an asphalt trail. It's going to have a lot of rustic qualities. It's going to be what nature provides. It's going to be marked. It's going to be marked consistently. It's going to be one unified marking. As you can see on the markup, there's going to be access to numerous places to park. You don't all have to start at the same place. There's probably going to be a half a dozen places. We'll have a wayfinding or you are here kind of an identifier at these places you could start.
The other project will feature a shorter trail offered by the trustees of reservations that will be geared to hikers of all ages.
It'll be the first of its kind in this area, and it'll consist of nearly 1,900 feet of trail that will greatly improve accessibility, but also providing nature play structures along the way, which will make this property, we hope, a premier destination for families, and especially families with young children. With Copacabana Woods being the gateway to the greater bioreserve that we've all just heard about, it's our hope that our accessible nature play trail will bring new people to our property, but then that will just whet their appetite to want to go deeper into the property and explore the greater loops and trails throughout the property.
And finally, our correspondent Brian Fraga had the opportunity to speak with an organizer with the Day of Portugal Festival, which will take place this weekend at the gates of Fall River and after many delays caused by COVID-19.
They will celebrate our culture, our gastronomy, our music, and it's a way of also getting out of the house because we all been cooped up in a house for too long. But we also following CDC guidelines. We actually are going to have the clinic here that anyone that is willing to get their shots that haven't got their shots, they can. So we also trying to do our part on that aspect to get everyone vaccinated. That's a great lineup that we have. We're excited, and people will have a great time.
We'll wrap up FRC Media News right after this.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Big Daddy, and I don't think I need to explain why we're calling him that. Well, just over 32 pounds. He has lost a little weight so far since we've had him, about a pound or so. We're continuing to trend in that direction. He is a very friendly cat. He is very easygoing. I guess you could say he's a jolly fat man. He has lost a little weight so far since we've had him, about a pound or so. We're continuing to trend in that direction, but I don't think he's ever going to come to a great weight until he's made it into a home and he can get, you know, the regular activity combined with a nice diet, that sort of thing. So if you think that you're that person who's willing to put in the effort for a very nice and I'd say handsome, even though you got a little weight on you, cat, you can come down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
Today with us we have Diego. He is a 3-year-old Chihuahua mix. He's a little shy at first, but he warms up fairly quickly. He is a very happy-go-lucky little man. Loves to go for walks. He's an active little guy. Super affectionate. He is a sensitive boy. He is playful. He loves his stuffed animals. So if you love to go for runs or walks, he would definitely make a good running or walking partner. If you notice the little bald spot on his head, it is an alopecia. It's to the point though where that patch of fur won't grow back. It's a little scabby right now, so when he must have had anxiety, so he was picking at it. Don't let that stop you from visiting him or anything like that. It's perfectly fine. Definitely make an appointment to come visit him at Forever Paws Animal Shelter. We are located at 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts. He'd love to meet you.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please check out our website at frmedia.org for all the latest news and information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Enjoy the Day of Portugal Festival. We'll talk to you next week.